Hi everybody, this is Dot Achiru, Dot Ikwegel Achiru, Talk to Dot. I'm a bit upset right now because I've just seen a video on Facebook. It was posted by one of my mates, and then I watched it and I was just absolutely gutted. You know, it's a video of a man who's taking his son and his daughter. I mean, these kids should be about 3 and 4 years old at most. He's taking them out, he's picked them up from school, he's taking them out, he's had his son's hair cut, and then he's had his daughter's hair styled. Now, this little girl sat down for 2 hours to have her hair done. He's brought them home, and their mom is so upset because she thinks that he's getting up to one thing or the other. I can do my own daughter's hair by herself. So she gets the scissors and she cuts her daughter's hair while this kid is crying. She's literally shattered.
My baby sitting up out there be crying.
I don't care. I told you stop playing with
This
me.
motherfucker cut my baby hair out of here.
So did.
Look at that
Now
shit. That shit sad. Hurt
Now
my
wait.
baby feeling.
Now wait.
Cause you don't hurt the dad, you hurt her
I
feelings.
do
You
my
hurt my
own
baby
girl
feelings.
hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
I do my own girl hair.
My baby sat there for 2
Stop
hours.
playing with me. Go.
Now, what is so upsetting is that I'm getting people making comments like, well, he provoked her, that's the reaction he wanted. What are you talking about? You see, women, I don't understand what you want. There's people out there that are looking for a man that even thinks about having his son's hair cut. There's people out there that are thinking about having a man that even thinks about taking his daughter to the salon to have her hair done. The hairstyle looks good, it looks beautiful. Now, if you're angry with the man, take out your anger on the man, not the child. Because what that woman has done, she's shown zero empathy towards her child. She's shown zero responsibility as a parent. Now, I don't endorse that kind of behavior in any way at all, because with children, one thing you have to understand with children is their brains are not really developed at that stage. It takes quite a while before their brains can develop. So any kind of trauma is not good for them. It's going to last a lifetime. I see a little girl that is being traumatized. I see a little girl that is being damaged by her mother. Now, I don't care people saying he provoked her. I don't see any provocation there. I mean, do you know what? So what? Let's say he provoked her. Let's just say, let's say he provoked her, even though we know he didn't provoke her in any way. So you cut your daughter's hair? Did your daughter provoke you? You know what I see, right? I see a little girl that is afraid of her mother. I see a little girl that gets beaten anytime she talks about her father. I see a little girl that if she even tries to show any kind of emotion or ask any questions about her dad, she has a mother that will beat her down and make her feel like all men are bad, her father is rubbish. But I see a little girl that looks like she loves her dad. She looks like she enjoys having time and spending time with her dad. This is absolutely wrong. And I find it really sad that there's women out there endorsing this behavior. A real woman, a real mother will do anything to protect her child. Now, have you ever heard the saying, mother hen? A mother hen will put its chicks under its wings and carry them. And she will do that. She will fight an eagle. She will fight a snake. She will fight anything. She will fight a human to protect her kids. Do you understand what that means? It's the protection. There's no, you cut your daughter's hair for crying out. Who is this woman for crying out loud? Do you know what? I stand with this little girl and her father. You understand? I don't know them, but I'm saying that this video needs to go viral because this situation needs to be looked into. I'm not saying just take the child and give to the man because he's a better parent. I'm saying that there is child abuse going on there. And then if you watch the video, she had the scissors in her hand and she was waving it at the man. Like, what are you trying to do? I see a very abusive and a very toxic mother there. I know that sometimes in an abusive relationship, it can lead an absolutely normal person to become very toxic and begin to act out. However, a victim of abuse doesn't begin to afflict that kind of abuse on their children. If you listen to stories of women that go through abuse and they stay there, they stay because they're trying to protect their children. They allow the abuse to happen to them because they're trying to shield the children. They don't allow the children be traumatized. I know stories of women that will do anything they're told to do just because they do not want to be hit in front of their children. I know women who allow themselves to be raped by their partners just because they do not want their children to hear the violence. So they will comply to every single thing just to protect the children. They don't mind being damaged themselves as long as the children are safe. Do you get me? But here is a woman. She wasn't fighting the man. She wasn't attacking the man. She was cutting her daughter's hair. That is absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable. I don't know who this woman is, and I don't know all these people that are trying to do women empowerment stuff. This has nothing to do with women empowerment. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a very inconsiderate person. And honestly, my heart goes out to that little girl, because I say this, I cannot overemphasize it. I talk about domestic abuse and domestic violence, and a lot of times I come from the woman's point of view, because I hear a lot of stories about, and men don't really talk about it. But the truth is, when I talk about domestic abuse and domestic violence, I'm standing against domestic abuse and domestic violence, regardless of who the abuser is. So I don't care if the abuser is a man or a woman. I'm standing in the middle saying domestic violence and domestic abuse is wrong. I talk about children a lot because children are the silent victims of an abusive relationship. And this video that is going around on social media is a clear example of what I try to say all the time. I've seen situations where, because of an abusive relationship, children will lose their speech, they will lose their social development, they will begin to have nightmares, they'll have sleepless nights, they'll become irritable. Everything just goes pear-shaped because they are in an abusive environment. Now imagine growing up in a family where your mother is so aggressive or your father is so aggressive, and because one party is angry, they cut your hair because you said hello to one person. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense at all. And if you're out there endorsing this kind of behavior, then you need to take a step back and ask yourself the question, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? You dey craze? Anyway, what I'm trying to say that video has actually, it just touched a lot of pressure points for me. And I was just so upset. I had to just come out and do this video. It's not right. I don't like it. People should make that video go viral, and I think that situation should be looked into, because if a person is being videoed, the first thing they do is take a step back because, okay, fine, I want to behave myself because I'm being videoed. But you're being videoed and you know you're being videoed, and you're happily just chopping up your daughter's hair. Your little baby is crying and you're still doing it. This doesn't make sense. Every single thing inside me just cries out for that little girl. It just cries out for that little girl, because I've seen it time and time and time over and over again, where a little girl longs to see her father and the mother makes it absolutely impossible for that to happen. She will talk down on the man. She will make everything just look so bad. She will beat the child, and then that child grows up. That child grows up to become a victim of abuse as well. Because it takes a grace for that child to grow up and become and have a normal life. A girl like that grows up and she begins to be afraid of men, because her mom has told her that all men are bad, they're useless, they're big dads, they're this and that. She's also afraid of women because she's scared of her mother. So now she grows up with a void in her life, which she needs to fill out, which will either make her an abusive individual towards good men out there who want to be nice to her genuinely, because she will see them as, okay, hang on, this is one of the men that I grew up knowing about, my mom told me about. Or she will end up being drawn to people who will become abusive towards her because she's got that void. And abusive people look out for people who have daddy issues or mommy issues or some kind of void in their life. And this woman is happily creating that because she's angry with the father of the child. Now there's a little boy there. He doesn't say much. You understand? He's not crying. He's not really showing any emotions. He's just there, standing by his dad. That's another person that is observing everything. And this is a boy. This is tomorrow's generation. He grows up and he's a horrible guy. And people begin to complain. Oh, there's no good men out there. Women complain, there's no good men out there. But you just created a horrible son. Do you understand? This is what you're doing to the next generation. I say this and I'll say it again. I said that on Facebook and I'm saying it now, YouTube or wherever this video is going to go. I don't endorse that kind of behavior at all. I'm all about saving the next generation. If you want to end the cycle of abuse, you need to protect the children at all costs. Two people come together, and the reason they come together is beyond anyone's imagination. As long as you're able to create a child, the reason you came together, one of the major reasons was to create that child. You've done your job. Your next job is to protect them and be a custodian. Your relationship may not work out. It doesn't have to work out. But the point is, there's a child there. Both parents have to have common sense to help raise that child and give that child the right foundation, not fighting each other because it doesn't work out between you. At what point are adults going to grow up and stop being children and stop seeing that life is about them? It's not. The minute you take that decision to bring forth a life, it means that you're going to be able to take a step back to protect that life that you brought in. It is your job to be a custodian of that child, not destroy them. So whoever this woman is and your cohort of friends, you no try at all. You understand what I mean? You've not done well. I feel so bad for that girl, and I hope that there's people out there that can reach out and help those kids. Because if that's the life they live, sorry, I'm just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on because I'm just not happy about the situation. And sometimes I see stuff on Facebook and yeah, I watch it. But when I read the comments, it really gets to me because it's like, how twisted are people? I'm looking at some lady who is literally, she's just, her head is twisted, and people are defending that behavior in their comments. Doesn't make any sense to me. You understand me? It does not make any sense. So there's people out there that can reach out to this family, to this man or this woman, and give those kids the support they need because they need it. Because you have two parents and they're at war. You can't have peace with your dad, and you can have peace with your mom, and you can't talk about either of the parents because I'm afraid of what mom will say or I'm afraid of what dad will say. You are damaging the next generation, literally destroying the next generation. If we want to break the cycle of abuse, we have to protect the children at all cost. You get me? So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. It wasn't a pretty sight to watch. It's really, even as an adult watching that, I was traumatized watching it because I'm seeing the future of that child, and it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to bring that child out of that, both children. And for those people saying, oh, there's two sides of the stories, it's just half a video. There is another video, actually. There's a video before the video of the woman cutting the child's hair. And that video is of the man in a truck with his kids. He's not thinking about the woman. He's just having fun with his kids. From 0 to a particular age in the child's life, all you can give to them is fun and happiness. Chill. They just need to be happy. Because once they get to a particular age, the foundation has been set. It's going to be difficult for you to change it. So if a child spends infancy, their babyhood, their infancy, their adolescence, their toddler zone in fear, being reserved, being afraid to talk about things, being reclined, you're raising a cycle. Sorry to say, you are raising a cycle. And stop it, parents. You need to stop it. You need to stop it. Do not traumatize your child for that. Okay? So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not social services, as they call it in England. I think in America it's called child services, CS, child services. I think that situation should be looked into because I see child abuse. You don't cut a girl's hair. Not like that. No, not like that. You don't do that. Not allowed. You don't do that at all. Unacceptable. So, leave your comments about what you think about that video. I played it at the beginning of the video before I started, and I'll play it again at the end. Leave your comments about what you think. If you know the parents, reach out to them and see how you can support them reasonably. Be guided in your comments. Be guided in your conversations with the parents.
My baby sitting up out there bitch crying.
I don't care. I told you stop playing with
That
me.
motherfucker cut my baby hair out of here.
So did.
Look at that
Now
shit. That shit sad. Hurt
Now
my
wait.
baby feeling.
Now wait.
Cause you don't hurt the dad. You hurt her
I
feelings.
do
You
my
hurt my
own
baby
going
feelings.
hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
I do my own girl hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
You know, just let me know your thoughts. And obviously, if there's stuff like this going on that you want me to talk about and make a video about, get in touch. We've got a massive Facebook community. Send me like a Facebook message and stuff like that, and I'll come back to you. Send me a comment, or on YouTube as well. I've got IG, I've got Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and all that jazz. Send me a message. And also, very soon I'm going to be doing a series about men getting abused. So if you're a man going through a traumatic experience with a woman, if you're a man who's going through an abusive experience, get in touch with Talk to Dot. I want to tell your story. Seriously, I want to tell your story. So from Talk to Dot to you, one love, peace, guidance, and respect.